Today's episode of the Bleav in Steelers podcast is brought to you by betonline.ag. And football season is over, but there's still a lot of great action, whether it's NBA, UFC, NHL, plenty of sports to bet on. Betonline.ag is just the place to do it.
Whatever sport, whatever time, wherever you at, just make sure if you want to do some kind of betting, go to betonline.ag.
And I know you're a huge UFC guy, so I'm going to take all of my direction from you in that regard. And so if you want to place a bet on any of that action, head over to the website, betonline.ag today. Use your desktop or mobile device to sign up and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to get started. Bet online, where the game starts. All right, cue the music. It's time to start the show. Welcome to the Bleav in Steelers podcast on the Bleav Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mark Bergin, joined as always by my guy, two-time Super Bowl champion and 12-year veteran of the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 24, Ike Taylor. IT, an entertaining Super Bowl. Rams take care of business, beat the Bengals to win Super Bowl 56. We're going to have a full reaction on today's pod, and I'm excited because later this afternoon, I get to see you in the flesh. I'm doing really well. How are you this morning, my man?
Man, I'm doing good, Mark. Good to see you, too. Can't wait to see you as well later. But, yeah, last night was a heck of a night, was a good game. Kind of what we expected. You know, if it was going to be a blowout, the Rams was going to blow Cincinnati out. If it was going to be close, because Cincinnati kept it and wanted it to be close. So that's exactly what I kind of expected.
I'm happy. They finally got the Super Bowl MVP correct. Cooper Kupp, in my opinion, well deserving of the MVP. It was really that Rams final scoring drive. Odell Beckham Jr. is injured. Higbee is injured. And it was play after play after play after play. When the Rams needed it most, Cooper Kupp was the guy. And you put your players in a position to succeed, and you need your star players to make plays when you need it most. And it wasn't just that he delivered and moved the team down the field, Ike. It was also on the plays where he either drew offensive pass interference, he drew an unnecessary roughness penalty and still made a catch, some place that didn't even count. The physicality the Bengals played with was incredible, but Cooper Kupp stood and took it and delivered play after play after play after play. I'm glad to see he won Super Bowl MVP because I thought he was most deserving.
Mister, give me the ball on the last drive. That's all I want. That's Cooper Kupp. Mister, this is what I've been doing the whole season. That's Cooper Kupp. Mister, man, y'all keep sleeping on me every day. Y'all need to find out what number 10 is on the field. That's Cooper Kupp. Mr. Super Bowl MVP, and you said it right, Mark. I'm so glad they got this one right because he definitely deserved it. That's Cooper Kupp. Mr. Man, I don't say too much. I just go about my business, handle my business, and break records. It's Cooper Kupp. Mr. Man, let me get this triple crown. That's Cooper Kupp. So Cooper Kupp, man, just do everything you want to do. I'm sure, and I never met Cooper Kupp, but I'm sure as a coach, you will want every person to walk in your facility to have the mindset, the determination, the man ain't never got to worry about off the field issues like a Cooper Kupp. That's just what he is. Mr. Man, me and, Matthew Stafford going to get up 5:30 in the morning to go watch some tape for everybody. That's Cooper Kupp. So when Matthew Stafford is in the jam, who you think he's going to rely on? He's going to rely on Cooper Kupp. Coach Sean McCay, when they're making calls for the last drive to try to win the game to come back from the Cincinnati Bengals, who you think number he's going to call? He's going to call Cooper Kupp. So you can say whatever you want to. You can go all these flashy guys. You can do the Jalen's. You can do the Aaron Donalds. You can do the Von Millers. You can do the OBJs. You can even do for a short stint a Matthew Stafford. By the end of the day, the LA Rams is Cooper Kupp. And I love Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald did seal the deal last night. to make sure he got, like he said earlier, to make sure he got his ring. He sealed the deal. But even with Coach Sean McCay, you take Cooper Kupp out of the situation, you take him off the team, I don't know what the LA Rams would be. So congratulations not only to the LA Rams, to Aaron Donald for sure, OBJ, my dog, but Cooper Kupp. God, it's hard. He's the best. He's the most valuable player on the LA Rams team. I would say that.
Ike, I would have liked to see him get more consideration for regular season MVP, more than 2,400 receiving yards, both regular season and postseason combined. Most ever, shatters Larry Fitzgerald and Jerry Rice's previous records. Both were in the 1,900-yard range. Now, remember, 17-game regular season, you have an additional game, but it wasn't just the regular season. Throughout the playoffs, time and time again, when the Rams' back was up against the wall, Kupp was the guy who delivered for them consistently. In the Super Bowl, Rams have the ball at their own 30-yard line, a 4th and 1, 5 minutes left in the game. And it's like, yeah, you've got all 3 timeouts, but if you punt the ball back to the Bengals, you might not get the ball back. And they decide to run the right end round to Cooper Kupp. He gets a 7-yard gain and keeps the drive going. It was that 7-yard rush. He had an 8-yard reception, a 22-yard reception, an 8-yard reception, and then drawing penalties as well. And like the catch he had where he caught it and they said that the defender was penalized for unnecessary roughness and there were offsetting penalties. It wasn't just the plays where the Rams gained yardage because of what Kupp did. I also thought it was the plays where he endured just so much physicality and punishment from the Bengals team, and he still consistently delivered. He drew penalties, and it was all Kupp on that last drive. I mean, like, the 22-yard completion Stafford had to him on the no look was pretty remarkable. But again, the Bengals really had to stop one guy, and they weren't able to do it. Cooper Kupp, hats off, Super Bowl MVP on what made it's the greatest single season we've seen from a receiver in NFL history. And I hope we can continue to see this because I think teams are going to continue to key in on and target him. That's where you go to an OBJ. OBJ obviously getting hurt, and the way OBJ started this game, it was like, man, like he might have a great game too because of the attention that Kupp draws. But when the Rams absolutely needed it, he was the guy. And I'm glad that like they didn't give it to just the quarterback and Stafford, and Aaron Donald was terrific too, making the key play and the key stop for the Rams down the stretch. But if not for Kupp, the Rams would not have won this game. And again, I feel like we talk every year with the Super Bowl, Ike, and it's like, are we sure this other player's not the MVP? I thought they finally got it right this year.
Nah, you and I on the same page with the MVP. I thought for sure, NFL got it right with Cooper Kupp because I felt in my mind he was definitely the MVP. Cincinnati blew it 3 times. You got to get some kind of points when you're up 4. If you don't get any points when you're up 4 and you keep giving teams opportunities, eventually in the NFL they're gonna wind up scoring. Mm-hmm. So, but the only thing that haunted them, I thought in my mind, it wasn't even the play; it was the penalty. One of the teammates came off the bench and got on the field, so they wind up getting the interception on Matthew Stafford. So they took points off the board, but at the same time, you give a 90. It was 1 minute and 23 seconds left, and they had 2 timeouts left, and you wind up getting an unsportsmanlike conduct because one of your teammates ran on the field. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't even dressed, ran on the field. So I thought that kind of took momentum away from the Cincinnati Bengals because, man, you give me 15 yards back, ain't no telling what McPherson can do. At least we're going to go and see. You already was going for it on 4th and 1 a few times in the game, so your mind was already made up, man. We came here to win. We're not putting this ball. You sat there and told your punter for the game, hey, if it's anything under 4th and 2, hey, go ahead on, sit down because we're going for it. But I felt like that unsportsmanlike penalty hurted the Cincinnati Bengals. And when you're up 2014 and you get opportunities after opportunities, and I know Joe Burrow was hurt. I get that part. Mm-hmm. But, man, Super Bowl. And you got to find a way to get some kind of first downs. 3 first downs would have put you in the driver's seat. At least get some points. You know what I'm saying? So That's just what it is. And believe me, I know there's no guarantee on going back. Everything got to kind of work out perfect for you during that season. The quarterback got to stay healthy. Your receivers got to stay healthy. Like, you damn near have to have a perfect season. Yeah, you might have an injury or two, and you might have a guy who will step up and be an unsung hero. But for the most part, to make it to the Super Bowl, everybody pretty much got to be healthy. You know, just look at how the LA Rams made it. Everybody was healthy. Tom Brady, when he wasn't retired, for the most part, everybody was healthy. But then when everybody became unhealthy, you needed Cooper Kupp on that last drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what you need. But for me, the Cincinnati Bengals, they had the opportunity. They just didn't capitalize at the end. Under 6 minutes, they had the opportunity to seal the deal and close the game. And you got to be able to capitalize, because you never know, or you don't know if you're going to get back to a Super Bowl. Just look at Aaron Rodgers. Last time Aaron Rodgers has been back to a Super Bowl, it was 2009, Mark. It's 2022. So nothing isn't guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these guys got to see. But massive shout out to the LA Rams. They did exactly what they needed to do to get that Super Bowl.
I only have one thing to check of everything you just said there. You said McPherson. It's shooter McPherson. I wanted to see the Bengals rookie kicker get a chance at the end. Bengals not able to move the ball down the field. Burrow, who was hurt with his knee injury, we'll find out more on how severe it was. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a really bad knee injury. Burrow running for his life, sacked 7 times last night, tied for most in Super Bowl history. So that's one thing that the Bengals will need to do in the offseason is shore things up. Shout out to the Rams too. Sean McVay supplants Mike Tomlin, is the youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl. McVay, 36 years old in 20 days. Tomlin was 36 years old, 323 days old when he won the Super Bowl. All the way back in the day, Ike, Super Bowl 43, a team that you were a part of.
Yeah, big shout out to Coach Sean McVay. If you just talk to his players, I think Matthew Stafford in his post-game interview, he just called him Sean. Usually you call him Coach. He was like, yeah, Sean comes over to play. Sean's just keep players intact. Sean pretty much can relate to everybody. I'm like, damn, my mom would smack the hell out of me if I just would have said, I better put a coach in front of you. But that's just Coach McVay. Coach McVay, he just can relate to whomever he picks up. And to be able to go out and get a Jalen, a OBJ, a Von Miller. I got to give a big shout out to Les Snead too. You know, I've been knowing Les Snead for a couple of years, especially working over at the network. So big shout out to Les Snead, the general manager for the LA Rams. He gambles hard in the offseason when you want to talk about being aggressive and trying to get pieces to the LA Rams, and them pieces to the puzzle wind up working out for him. So big shout out. He's an unorthodox general manager, I would say, because he makes moves a lot of other general managers wouldn't make. But he made a chess move last year, and it wound up coming to fruition. So the LA Rams, man, good work. The Cincinnati Bengals, I went to betonline.ag, and I did want them to win, but obviously I came up short. But it's all good. But it was an exciting game to me. Joe Burrow, he's really that cool under pressure guy. I think the only bad pass I seen from him was it was a 3rd and 9, and he stepped up in the pocket and he wound up throwing it in the dirt to Jamar Chase. I felt like that will kind of seal the deal to close the game as well in the second half. That's just what it is, man. That game was good for me. I had a good time. Shout out to Miss Courtney, too, who's in charge of Brinks TV. Had a good time on the podcast last night.
Let's go.
She gave me an invite. I'm getting on there, spend about 15, 20 minutes on there. Had a good time chopping it up, talking to CJ and company, CJ Anderson and company. So that was pretty cool for me. But, yeah.
Love that. I want to go back to, we mentioned Burrow's injury, and we'll see what happens, if anything, further of the extent of what happened there. I thought the windows tightened up in the fourth quarter. I think the Rams really, really pinned their ears back, and I was watching the game with the buddy, and it was like, I'm like, Burrow has no time to throw. 2-3 seconds and the ball's got to be out. Otherwise, it's a race to the quarterback with Donald and company, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller. I just thought that the passing windows too just were a lot tighter in the fourth quarter, where it was just like both teams were really, really going for it. So that's something that I noticed, where it was just like at the line of scrimmage, I mean, you're going to have your hands full trying to block the Rams up front as is. But I think that the Rams really could understand the stakes of that point in the game. Just something I noticed at the line of scrimmage. And that was really one of the keys going into this game, considering Burrow sacked 51 times, a league high during the regular season, sacked 9 times in the Bengals playoff win against the number 1 seeded Tennessee Titans on the road at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Last night, sacked 7 times. And so that was really going to be one of the keys to the game. Is this something that Burrow can overcome? He didn't make excuses all season long. He doesn't, ream his guys out on the sideline or sell them to dry, when he's asked about it by media members. That's what true leadership does. Hopefully the Bengals can do things, in the offseason to where, he's not running for his life on every single play, because even despite all of that, he's still a terrific quarterback. And we've talked about this too, like in the AFC, and this is something we're going to talk a lot about a little bit later in the show of, who our Super Bowl favorite in Super Bowl 57 will be. But in the AFC, you look at Mahomes, you look at Burrow, Herbert, and Josh Allen, those 4. I think that those 4 might be trading off Lombardis for the next several years.
Yeah, it's going to be, if you're a quarterback in the AFC, we forgot about a injured Lamar Jackson as well.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Ike.
We talking about five quarterbacks. We talking about MVPs in the AFC. Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. Them boys can get a job done. Then you add in the Joe Burrow and the Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. Like, what the hell? And if you quietly see some guy just straggling around the six, you're talking about Derek Carr. So it's a lot going on in the AFC. I'm just upset everybody in the AFC. I wanted to spread around a little bit. Some of the guys can go to the NFC to make this thing more competitive. But Mark, I thought, and even though he started it woke him up. Aaron Donald, when he pushed Joe Burrow on their sideline out of bounds for that play when he was scrambling, and everybody, as they should, his offensive line, as they should, come and protect their quarterback and Joe Burrow and his team, that Cincinnati team. From that point on, Aaron Donald just said, F it. That's my personal opinion. Because after that, when he just went bonkers. He went bananas. He went 8. That's exactly what the young man did. So I thought, usually when you start something, you get a different kind of energy from the other team, like, you know what, forget you. But Aaron Donald started it, and everybody gathered around him, and he was like, you know what, I forgot who I was. I'm Aaron Donald. Watch this. And he took off after that.
Yep. Yeah, and even had the game-sealing play too, Ike, and it was just like, good luck stopping him and trying to block him up front. Happy to see him get a Super Bowl because he has accomplished pretty much everything an individual player can accomplish short of winning a Super Bowl. He now will have a Super Bowl ring. And so after the game, he was speechless in terms of what it meant to him. A really, really cool moment in the reaction of that game. And it was just such a genuine the interview. It's just like you could just see the emotion on his face and the tears streaming down his face in terms of everything that he's done to try to accomplish what he can do as a player in his career. And to see that moment come to fruition for him, I thought it was just really, really special to watch, Ike.
Now, Aaron, he's my favorite player in the league. He's always been, like, the last 3 years, he's just been my favorite player.
He's a game wrecker, Ike.
In the NFL. But he's honestly a great person. But his work ethic is unbelievable, Mark. Usually guys are that talented. They don't work like Aaron Donald. But Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald. If he wants to retire right now, if he wants to go to the Hall of Fame and not wait 5 years, he gone. First ballot.
No question.
Yeah, that's how good. If you want to come out with who's up there? Tom Brady and Big Ben, Tom Brady and Big Ben, Aaron Donald is going to be, if he wanted to retire this year.
Yeah. I was thinking about this in the historic perspective to piggyback off what you're saying. Like, other than Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White, I think Aaron Donald's like right there from a defensive player, from that kind of impact. Like, that's the caliber of player we're talking about here.
He's the best player in the league. Like, Aaron Donald is the best. He's an interior lineman, meaning 1, 2, or 3 will get their hands on him every play. I'm talking about three grown men who got kids in the family at home.
300 plus pounds. Yeah.
I'm talking about 900, close to 1,000, close to 1,100 pounds that will touch Aaron Donald damn near every play. And the time you don't touch him, he caused havoc. Man, you know how I'm not talking about we're going to double receiver or this linebacker can come downhill, he can cover. I'm talking about every defensive snap, Aaron Donald's getting hit by 2 guys, no less than 2. And if it's crucial, he going to get pinged by 3, and he still finds a way. Every play, I don't think people understand how hard it is you have to be the best defensive player in the NFL. One of them, I'm sorry. Shout out to Defensive Player of the Year, T.J. Watt. One of them, as a interior lineman, Mark. I'm not talking about on the edge.
Yes.
You might get a tight end to chip you, a running back to chip you if you play outside lineman. No, I'm talking about in the fire. How hot is the kitchen? I want it as hot as possible. Aaron Donald is a grown man.
Oh, yeah. And like my Nana used to say, you can't cook cold. So there you go.
You can't. You damn right you can't. But, man, that gas is a mother if it's cold.
Like you say, Ike, we're cooking with gas now. And I think you're exactly right about the interior, because I love TJ Watt. TJ Watt was deserving to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. The year before, TJ Watt did have better statistical production than Aaron Donald, but it goes back to exactly like what you're saying, Ike. From the interior, if it's even close, you got to give the edge to the interior guy, because they're not going to put up the same statistical production as an edge pass rusher. So either a defensive end or an outside linebacker like a TJ Watt. So the fact that when he won it in the 2020 season, I remember it was like, well, if you look at the stats, Watt had better stats. But the fact that it was even close, and Aaron Donald every year in the league is an all-pro player. Again, we're talking about one of the all-time greats in Aaron Donald, and I think he belongs in that conversation again. The 2 guys, Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White. Aaron Donald's probably right there. I'd probably rank those 2 just ahead of Donald, but I need to think about it a little bit more, though, Ike. But that is the caliber of player we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm gonna put him at 1, Mark. And the reason why I'm gonna go it on. I'm not even going to shortcut Aaron Donald, because we're talking about the 2 guys we're talking about, the Reggies and the Lawrence Taylor, outside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Outside. Put Aaron Donald at defensive end and watch how many sacks he have on outside. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he could do it. He could do it too, because he's like, would you say like 280? He could easily do it.
Yeah, no, but that's what he does. Like I started to pay attention to the terminology of great defensive linemen. So my nephew Bishop, who's at Florida State, I used to say, oh man, he played D tackle, nose tackle. He said, nah, I play D line. I said, Dad, why you say you play D-line? He said, because I can play inside or outside. He said, that's what Aaron Donald do. He played D-line. You don't put us at one position. You don't say we just a nose tackle or a D tackle, depending on a 4-3 or 3-4. Guys like us who play D-line. I say, yeah. Hey, that's how good. Like, when we want to talk about Lawrence Taylor and White, man, them guys play outside linebacker / DN. Mm-hmm. It was hard to say, oh, yeah, they play D-line. Because when you play D-line, you line up in the inside or the outside. But this is no disrespect, but Aaron Donald for sure. Aaron Donald for sure. I'll put Aaron Donald at 1.
I understand what you're saying. I just want to point out, play devil's advocate for anyone watching this on YouTube after the fact. Maybe a little bit of recency bias, Ike, but consider you played in the league 12 years, and I'm in good spirits today, the Monday after the Super Bowl. I'm going to let this slide.
You ain't got to let it slide. Nah, and we ain't got no grease or no oil on the floor. I know you got your stickum shoes on.
Ike, we got to take a quick break to tell our listeners and viewers about BetterHelp. So if you've got goals in life, dreams, aspirations, a lot of times you need help to get there. BetterHelp helps people pair them with a licensed professional to be able to do that and be able to outline, be able to help people out for whatever it is that they are trying to accomplish. Excited to have BetterHelp as a presenting sponsor of the Bleav in Steelers podcast.
Something I fought for years, and that was help, because my grandmother, she called me man at a young age because I had to be the man at the house. But, man, make sure y'all just go and tap into BetterHelp.com, because it will help you not only with your goals, but just everything you want to do. And a lot of times, man, all we need to get that extra push is some kind of help.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here's what we need our listeners and viewers to do. You can see the website on your screen right now if you're watching the Bleav in Steelers podcast. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with a therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's also affordable. It's more affordable than in-person therapy as well, Ike. And you can start by communicating with the therapist in less than 48 hours. Why invest everything else and not your mind? And so here's what I need our listeners and viewers to do if they're interested. You can go to betterhelp.com/Steelers. And so that way our Bleav in Steelers podcast listeners and viewers get 10% off on their first month at betterhelp.com/Steelers. Again, that's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Steelers. Today's episode of the Bleav in Steelers podcast is also brought to you by NordVPN. And Ike, everyone's got their devices, laptop, cell phone, tablet. You need to have peace of mind when it comes to internet security. NordVPN makes sure that they've got the fastest connectivity, most servers, and next-gen encryption to make sure everything that you do online stays safe.
Hey, I told y'all this every week. We're not slacking on our hacking because we got NordVPN who got our back, baby.
Yes. And so, again, you can see that website on your screen right now. Grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/Bleav. Use the code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to get 70% off your NordVPN plan plus 1 additional month for free. It's also risk-free with Nord's 30-back money-back guarantee. Ike, Matt Stafford's going to Canton when this is all said and done, whether it's justified or not. But I think so. I was very happy to see him win 12 years with the Detroit Lions, not even able to get a playoff win. And now he's a Super Bowl champion, 12th all-time in passing yards, 12th all-time in passing touchdowns, 11th all-time in completions, 4th all-time in passing yards per game. I was really excited to see him win. It all came together, the connection with him and McVay. And I thought he was very, very gutty as a quarterback in Detroit, playing games, coming back off the bench where he was hurt. I think he gave everything he could to that franchise. To see him win a Super Bowl, very happy for Matthew Stafford. And I think get a few more years of see if the Rams can repeat as Super Bowl champions. But if he keeps up this level of production for another 2-3 seasons, he's going to have a gold jacket, and we're going to see him in Canton, Ohio.
Okay, so I'm glad you added another 2 or 3 years, because you almost made me jump off the cliff on that. Not right now.
I agree.
Matthew Stafford to the Hall of Fame today, if he was to retire? No. Not even. Now, Matthew Stafford, he got 3 more years left. Let's say you're doing another 3 with the LA Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think Matthew could do at least 5 to 6 because arm talent ain't the issue. Yeah, we can start talking. But right now, Mark, usually when you be hypothesizing, you be right. And I be thinking you be talking crazy, but you be right the majority of the time. But on this one, you just threw me for a loop on that one. Hell, today, hell.
I keep both feet on the cliff. No need to jump off. I'm not trying to do that. Today should be a national holiday. It's the Monday after the Super Bowl. Not trying to get you to jump off the cliff there. But yeah, a few more years of the production level that he's at. I'd imagine the Rams are going to be back in the playoffs. You mentioned earlier about Les Snead. One thing I want to point out with the Rams, they don't have a first-round draft pick till the 2024 season. So it was absolutely crucial that they won Super Bowl 56 because you're not going to get that influx of talent that you would get with first-round picks for this upcoming draft or the 2023 draft. So I'm with you there, Ike. But again, assuming that Stafford could at least lead the Rams back to the playoffs in each of the next 2-3 seasons, they get back to, say, at least the conference championship game, if not repeating as Super Bowl champions. We know how difficult that can be. But if he plays at the level he's capable of playing at in, how he performed this last season, taking the Rams and winning a Super Bowl, I think eventually a few more years, but I think it's there. I'm with you though, too. If you decide today, hey, I'm done with the sport, I think he'd be a little bit more of a fringe guy right now. But assuming he has the stats the next several years, again, I kind of already made the case with the stats with where he's at right now at this moment in time. But all the talk shows are going to be talking about this here, today and the next few days, now that the football season is over and that the Super Bowl is over.
Yeah, but time will tell. We'll definitely talk about that on our next show. But this Hall of Fame, man, I know you told Miss Courtney, Miss Courtney, go ahead and slide that in there because I'm going to piss hike off right quick. So.
No, but I'm with you too. I mean, if you look at Ben and if you look at Tom Brady in the class that'll be in 5 years, say Stafford were to retire right now, is he in the same caliber of Ben or Tom Brady? I think the answer is no to that. So I'm with you, Ike. And no, sliding it in, it's just, look, this is something that you will see on your TV screen of whatever show or program you choose to watch. I promise you, this is going to be a discussion topic the next several days. I guarantee you, Ike.
I'm just following your lead. That's all. I'm just playing with you.
All right, Ike, before we wrap up here, and I like that you're giving me some grief, Ike. This is good. This is healthy. Who do you like to win Super Bowl 57? I know we are a year out from that, but who do you like next season? It's never too soon, especially considering BetOnline is a presenting sponsor of the Bleav in Steelers podcast.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead on and hit the BetOnline, and I'm going to go back with the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to win it all.
Good choice, Ike. I like that. I'm between Bengals. I like the Bills. The Bengals you can get at plus 1,000. So you put $100 down, you make $1,000, and you get 1,100 back, Ike. So pretty good odds for the Bengals there. They have the fourth best odds to win the Super Bowl next season.
Yeah, NFC. I got Green Bay going for the NFC. So Cincinnati,
with Jordan Love at quarterback, right?
Nah, they gonna find a way to pay Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
They looking at the NFC like, if I'm Green Bay, I'm looking at the NFC like, so who I gotta? Let's see how Russ come back. Let's see what they're gonna do with Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's about it. The LA Rams, I just gotta look after. So right now, I gotta beat the LA Rams to get to where I need to get to. Mm-hmm. Okay, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, because if he go to the AFC, boy, they got some young studs sitting in the AFC. It's gonna be an uphill battle. So,
who the heck makes the Pro Bowl if Rodgers goes to the AFC? Ike, it's like, oh my gosh. The look on your face right now is incredible.
I'm just saying, like, Aaron Rodgers, he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but we talking about Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and now you throw into the mix Joe Burrow and the healthy Lamar Jackson. Like, I don't know if Aaron want to play them boys in the playoffs. Like, because these boys are winning games in Super Bowls in the playoffs. Like, don't forget, Patrick Mahomes and company been to more Super Bowl games than Aaron Rodgers, and he's just stepping his foot in the door.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not forget that. Stay your butt in the NFC. Go on, beat Matthew Stafford if you need to get back to where you need to go, and that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I look at Josh Allen, who had near perfect quarterback play in the postseason, 9 total touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and he still loses in the playoffs. I'd rather go through the NFC too, like from a quarterback standpoint. I'm with you 100%.
Easy.
So the Super Bowl next year is going to be in Glendale, Arizona. 2024 is going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then 2025, Ike, you're home, the Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana. So that's the next 3 years of Super Bowls, but be in Glendale, Arizona next year in 2023. Heck of a season. And Ike, we kind of teased ahead to this. We're going to have heck of a time figuring out the quarterback carousel throughout this league. We will also have a position group by position group breakdown of top 5 guys in the 2022 draft at each position, which we did last year too. So we've got our listeners and viewers covered in the coming weeks on the Bleav in Steelers podcast. No, we're going to be entering the offseason, but between now and April's draft, there is going to be plenty to cover. So Ike, yet another season wrapping up with you. This is our 3rd season together doing this show, but it continues on in the offseason. I'm really, really excited to talk draft with you too, because that is your wheelhouse, Ike Taylor. Watching tape of these young prospects, I know is something that you really enjoy doing, and your analysis is right on the money when it comes to the draft and draft prospects.
Well, I appreciate you, Mark. Can't wait to get into this draft. Keeps me in the game, keeps me in tune, keeps me even more educated, especially when we talk about guys during the season where they're coming in first round and they start as rookie, or whether they just slid in the 6th round, somebody that got hurt, and they playing at an expectation people didn't think. That's us because we're able to talk about them because we're doing our homework. That's what I love about, the upcoming draft, but, top 5, top 8, top 10 positions, every positions. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Mark and I, when it comes down, like, I'll leave it up to Mark to kind of take over during the season. But for the off season, I tell Mark, man, pick your feet up, take a vacation, because this is exactly what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to put my general manager hat on, and we're going to kick the butt when it comes down to talking about these prospects. But make sure, man, y'all subscribe and give us a 5-star piece. Thanks for listening and tuning in to our show. Got to give a massive shout out. Hold on. I got to say this. I got to pay some bills. So paying some bills is giving some credit to our sponsors. Got to give a massive shout out to betonline.ag, Brinks TV, a major shout out to Bleav in Steelers podcast for giving Mark and I the opportunity. Man, if y'all need anything, if y'all ain't slacking on y'all hacking, make sure y'all go to NordVPN.com. And if you need any kind of help, regardless on what your goal is, make sure y'all go to BetterHelp.com. They would gladly help whatever you need done. But yeah, man, this is exactly what we do. We VPN, we are NordVPN.com. We get some help if we need it from BetterHelp.com. Make sure if you're thinking you want to put a dime on something, you go to Bet Online and check Mark and I out.
I couldn't have put it better myself. What a season. Ike, we're going to be back on Friday. More recap from Super Bowl 56. And again, a busy offseason ahead. A lot of changes for the Steelers, too, that we all know about. General manager, quarterback. We now know who the defensive coordinator is, too, but it's going to be a fun offseason. Steelers have the 20th pick in the 2022 draft. So a lot ahead on the Bleav in Steelers podcast. I just want to thank you, too, Ike, for yet another season. This is something I get to do each week. So much fun with you, the Bleav Podcast Network, and the Brinks TV crew. So I'll go ahead and sign off for the both of us here. For Ike Taylor, I'm Mark Bergin. Thank you for listening and watching the Bleav in Steelers podcast. We will see you later this week on Friday. Take care. So long, everyone. We'll see you then.
Peace.